Hello there, Farron in here, and I'm doing my first recording in a long time with still no editing software on my new laptop, and I apologize if it looks a little bit grainy when I upload this to YouTube. I'm using the Bandicam recording software, and I'm kind of a noob. That being said, I'm bringing you the episode 1 in my Explosives, and yeah, today we're looking at the first collection of TNT cannons that I cooked up all last night till 5 a.m. in the morning. Let's have a blast. Yeah, that was corny. I'll leave now. Alright, so, first things first, let's get myself out of here. We've got these walls set up so that, well, let's face it, we don't want to blow up cannon after cannon, which some of these monstrosities can do. But let's get into it and take a look. So cannon number 1, numero uno, aka improvements. Ish. So, what I was looking at here was, you have your basic cannon that everybody builds, just give you a quick idea. You got that too high nonsense, where people go blah 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 blah, grab some of this, throw it down. Anyway, you get this basic little setup here, and they use this for everything. But then I realized something. If we want more power, more distance, and more boom, why not make it 3 high? You see, when you put the repeater into a block like you have on every basic cannon, that block, the one I'm currently staring at, becomes the source. So it'll activate the ones above and below it when working correctly. Now, obviously there's some faults to that, but that was the first basic improvement, using that. And then, we just threw on a long barrel and your basic delay, and we came up with this guy. So, it shoots a little bit range shots. You can see where the big cluster works out there. I'll show you from the side here. And it's going to start falling into that first hole because it slides along the ground. And then just an inner view. Alright. So you get a decent amount of distance off of that. Let's get our longest shot measured. Alright, so that's 89 blocks is the longest shot, with the vast majority it looks like being between, going with right about 60 and 75. Yeah, it's right about that. So nothing too special on it, just a heavy hitter. On to the next one. What have we got here? We have corner cannon, Mateo. That's my real name, by the way, in case you haven't watched any of the other videos where I've been referenced. But, changed up just a few small things here. Once again, I'm going with the 3, and then I used walls here to get more precise corner, because I was finding using any of the other setups that I watched from people, a few of the shots went sideways, and I didn't like that very much, so this just adds a little bit of accuracy. So once again, your basic shot. That was actually a really good range for this. Your redstone shot, you got the hit, the activate, drops the TNT. And then your so-called inside view. Alright. So you can see all 3 of them go generally towards that post. Can't really measure this one, but I'd say it's probably between 50 and 70 blocks, relatively steadily. And I'm just going to pause the video real quick and remove this hole so that you don't see it when I'm shooting the future cannons. Be right back. And we're back, and you know what just occurred to me? Why did the heck did I tell you that we'd be right back? You're not gonna see the cut. And a lot of people do that. But you know what? Whatever, we'll go with it. So anyway, next up we have my personal cannon that I spent hours on trying to get this thing to work. And it's more or less an upgrade of the first one, but I got it to work. Now, there is nothing practical about this cannon. You cannot easily load this even in survival mode. So please don't be thinking this is the next big factions cannon or whatever. This is the I've got nothing to do with my life and I want to blow the heck out of something. I measured it a while ago. It's like 600 blocks away. Longest shot, that is. So, without further ado, the Destiny Strike. So, for the sake of how large this is and wanting to show people what it does a little better, I actually have 2 buttons on it. This is 30 blocks high of dispensers powering the shot. I think it's 6, yes, 6 blocks high of being shot. And what we did for this is we actually have a toggle system with the torches. You've probably seen this if you've done any redstone, really. Going all the way up to the top. Occurs to me that one's not really necessary, but I'm going to leave it just in case. And then we have this alternating ramp. And I'll show you actually from the other side. So, into the torch, not powered. Carries up, not powered. Straight, not powered. Into the torch and up. Straight, into the torch and up. Blah, blah, blah. So, that way, everything goes off more or less at the same time. But I was discovering that the bottom ones actually did go off a little bit earlier. So, the first 2 layers I have at 3 ticks. The next 2 I have at 2 ticks. The next 2 at 1. Oh, sorry, next 3 at 1. And then the top 3 are at no ticks. So, I'm going to show you first something I've never actually done, and hopefully it doesn't blow up, is I'm just going to quick fire it from the back. And wow, with the recording running, I can't even see the TNT fly from there. Well, it certainly does explode fast. So, next we'll show you from up here. Let you follow the redstone a little bit for our second shot. You can see most of the happenings there. And then we've got our inner shot. So, it loads up the wall there, drops these, and yeah. Now we get to go check out what kind of damage we got there. Alright, new shortest range shot. We got a blast landed here. At 218 blocks. I take it back, I think it was 400 that the longest shot made. Our second blast here. Alright, so this is right in our middle. You see this is actually the condensed. I made a ring here a while ago. Longest shot being yep, that's right, command. 289. blast here. That's honestly a stray I've never seen before. And then this was where the longest shot hit before, right in this cluster. So, what have we got? There's 425 blocks that shot, and made that big of a crater. So yeah, this is my ultimate creation so far, and it's powerful. It's really powerful. If you have a friend who built up their base another chunk away, and you have a lot of time on your hands, go ahead and build up the Destiny shot. It's a lot of fun. Okay, on to the next one. What have we got? I think, yep, the compact, I'm not even sure what LR is supposed to stand for, autocannon. Oh, compact long range autocannon. That's what that is. Anyway, what I've got here is I used your originally 3x3 setup, made it bigger, made it better. Well, not if you only want a compact cannon, but yeah, made it more destructive anyway. I actually have one of the dispensers on the bottom, as well as the ones on the back here, which is why I have this powering from underneath. And then I use your basic redstone clock, flick the lever, activates, goes around, comes back in, shoots, with a little extra delay for this one. It will work without the extra delay, but the shots honestly take kind of forever, so I'm actually showing you the redstone first on this one, and the second shot still takes quite a while, but it gets out there, so I'm satisfied with it. And then what I am going to do with this one that I didn't do with the others is show you from out here, since it's an autocannon. Hopefully it'll show some of the stray, yeah, so you can get an understanding about how it actually works. It's not a bad cannon, could be better, I haven't figured out how yet, but it's a nice little experiment for when you really want to get stuff done, and you really don't want to waste a ton of time doing it. So, longest shot with this is, alright, place air, sandstone. If you're not familiar with the commands I'm using there, it's your basic world edit command, and if you don't have that, I recommend you get it. It wasn't too hard to figure out, thankfully. But the longest shot with that is exactly 68 blocks. It's kind of funny, for more than a stack. Alright, so, on to the next one. This was honestly probably almost as long to figure out as the Destiny shot. I don't know what happened with the name, I just labeled it, take a shower, explode with joy. Oh wait, just explode. And you'll see why when I turn it on. But the big difficulty with this was I actually created my own clock for this. What I wanted to see happen, this is a slime cannon, and I wanted to see it alternate, that one activate, that one activate, that one activate, that one activate. So, that's pretty easily attainable by simply using a regular toggle switch. But I also wanted it to turn off on both sides, so that you didn't wind up with a stray TNT. For that sake, I created this redstone contraption here with a clock I've never seen anyone except myself use, which I'm actually just going to demonstrate for you real quick here. You set down pistons 2 blocks away from each other, facing each other, and then use your, I forget what the proper name for this is, it's like just a repeater clock or something. Use your basic repeater clock, and this is actually one of the fastest clocks you can build. Except I put those facing the wrong way. Sorry about that. There we go. So, building this is quite effective for most things you want to do, but if you want to turn it off, you kind of have to put a lever down on both of them sometimes. So what I did was I put the pistons down to complete the circuit here, and then pick that block up, as you will see when I turn it on. I don't know what else I'm going to use this for, but I'm honestly quite sure it'll be a design worth having eventually. But yeah, after that, I follow it in using these once again to extend, and that can cause a little bit of trouble here and there where it stays out, but it doesn't happen too often. It's pretty reliable actually. And then the reason for that is all of this is on 1.11, where if you have a clock activated, this second repeater actually won't fire. As I'm actually going to demonstrate to you to explain why I did a whole bunch of this nonsense. Okay, so we got a relatively fast acting repeater. Fine. That one isn't fast enough. We'll use the other one. I said well, actually I said repeater, but we got a relatively fast acting clock. And as you'll see, it can't keep up with the clock. In this particular case, even the first one can't. If we stick one of these here, nope, that won't activate either. But anyway, that's the problem being caused, which is why I'm using these instead of simple repeaters. They're a lot faster, and that's what actually lets the clock work. And then this here is important to have just a milliseconds delay so that the TNT actually fires forward, because otherwise that slide block activates too late. This probably took me about 2 hours between coming up with that mechanism and getting the timing right, but the end result is this. Hence the whole shower of TNT thing. So what we've got going on here, as you see, this is completing the signal, pushing these forward, activates that into here. This dispenses the TNT just a bit before that hits it, and then these push it forward on alternating circuits. As for the damage it's doing, yeah, well, I don't think I need to explain that. So, that's our shower of TNT cannon. As you see, it doesn't go particularly far, but it goes deep, and I personally think it's amazing for going over a wall. I'm actually going to turn it back on and see how high it will shoot over. Right, so here's the primary arc right about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, every single block is going over that, so it will go over a 10-high wall, which can be extremely useful for factions, TNT wars, anything of the like, if you can actually build this quick. And our farthest shot, because I've bothered to show it with every other, is .26 blocks away. So yeah, it's really close range cannon, but that arc honestly I think makes it worthwhile. Now, as for the last one, I will warn you now, if you build this, you're gonna blow up something that you may or may not want to have blown up, and it's gonna be really destructive. This cannon is actually not originally my design, which is why I saved it for last. This is an improvement-ish on the fastest cannon ever built, and I will try and find the original video for that and give a link to the creator, but all kudos to the creator for originally building this. However, he built it in 1.7.10, And due to the mechanism I was talking about earlier, where the redstone repeaters won't activate with a higher speed clock, I had to revamp this into a 1.8 and above. So I called it, I fixed the fastest cannon alive. It's not entirely true, because there's still a chance, lower, but a chance of this thing blowing itself up. Thankfully, if you build it with obsidian, it's relatively easy to fix. So the original cannon had repeaters going here. It was a 4-block by 7-block cannon. Came in, hit here, dropped down. All of these were activating off of this ticker clock, which would have been actually a block closer. And yeah, it shot ridiculously fast. I found the design and was like, gotta find a way to update it. I then built this. These 3 pistons will pull back. The lever will also push them forward, and that's what lets it activate at the same speed that it originally did. However, should the redstone block be left out front, or these activate last instead of those ones to push it forward, you're going to blow up the front of the cannon. Thankfully, it only blows up about 7 blocks, so you can fix it. So, that being said, without further ado, let the mayhem begin. Okay, loads up the cannon ridiculously fast. About 8 seconds later, that starts happening. And I can tell you there's one safe way to let this cannon be, which is to just let it run out of TNT, which I might actually let it do here. But you will see that it starts to hit a dead wall here and just... yeah, that happens. And it shoots so fast that it's actually already out of TNT. Oh no, it blew up. Okay. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, possibly one of the most destructive cannons ever built. Actually fired one of those shots all the way out here. Like, I actually can't believe it made that far. But... if you want to destroy something, give this one a shot. Don't expect it to live. Just blow stuff up. And what's our farthest shot? $322 blocks was the max there, with steady damage being dealt out to... nah, that can't be 300. No, it's double height. My apologies there. No, I could have just done the math, but I'm lazy. Alright, let's try this again. 161 blocks being dealt there. Steady damage out to... 68 blocks. And pure havoc. Actually that goes in, so it probably ends about there. Out to 47 blocks. So yeah, anyway guys, that's it for my explosions, whatever, blah blah blah, blow things up episode 1, which I'm really going to have to come up with a good name for. But if you like any of these cannons, or want to see an actual tutorial to how to build it, please do let me know. Like I said, all except the last one there are my original designs. I don't know if other people have built them before. But, well, actually that one's tweaked. The corner cannon is tweaked. I'll admit that. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. But before you do, just fire off every single cannon because we can. Except the last one, because it's dead. Alrighty there, destruction is complete, and I will see you next time on whatever you decide to watch. Faranine, out.